Hello, hello, amazing people, and welcome to the I'm Trying to Keep Me show. And this is our part one of Deadbeat Mothers. I wanted to. This is a four part series. That we're going to go ahead and take into June and finish out. You know the month. I wanted to talk about this because there's so many aspects that we need to talk about. We always come to the table and we always talk about deadbeat fathers all the time, um, in very great detail. There's a lot of conversation about it. We rarely have a conversation when it comes to deadbeat mothers and the awareness that needs to be brought to certain things happening in our community. I've got a lot of messages from people. I have a lot of experience of myself, caring for children in our community. I think this show is very important, and is very beneficial. We don't need to continue to sweep things under the rug. This is even a show about an attack. It's definitely a show to bring awareness. I see that there was a lot of static earlier when I posted a post. Let me bring that post in. Come in, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to get into this post and some of the comments earlier from a post I put up earlier that triggered a lot of people on this topic. So I put earlier, I said, y'all don't feel less of mothers vacationing in Miami or running to get your body done, but your kids aren't taken care of. I'm asking for the kids. This post blew up within minutes. There was a lot of women on this post that were. I'm gonna read some comments so y'all can just understand. Um, what I'm talking about. So one woman said there are some women that do have balance. Not every woman is getting alterations and attending to their children as a second thought. They are some powerful boss women that God has created in this world. And because they are bosses, they have learned to be multi-talented in many areas of life and still show up at basketball games, football games, and view homework. Yeah, we're out here. And another woman said, I'm not really understanding. My child comes first all the time. But what's wrong with going on a vacation without your child? And I'm not wasting money on getting my body done. Another woman said, there's nothing wrong with taking a small break without the kids. This is why reading is fundamental. I promise you. Again, my post said, y'all don't feel less of mothers vacationing in Miami or running to get your body done, but your kids are not taken care of. What I'm sitting up here talking about, nothing is wrong with a person going on vacation. Nothing's wrong with that. Are your priorities in order? That's what we're coming to the table talking about. People, women, automatically got defensive. Everybody, I'm not gonna say everybody deserves a vacation, but people that work hard, I feel like they deserve a vacation. They deserve time to enjoy themselves. I'm talking about the ones that do not take care of their children. I'm talking about this post, people being defensive. How are you defensive against trauma, pain, hurt, and neglect? How do you come on a post and try to take up for women that do not take care of their children? How? I want to know, how do you do that? How do you do that? This is conversations we're not having. We're not having conversations about women that leave the kids in the house by themselves and go to bars and go to clubs. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the children that have been abused mentally, physically, and emotionally by their mothers. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the mothers that change partners like they change their underwear and give access to men to their children. We're not talking about that. Why aren't we talking about things like that? Why do we only come to the table and talk about black men ain't nothing? They walk out on their kids. They don't help take care of their kids. They haven't seen their kids. The kids don't know who their father is. They don't know when the last time they seen their father. Why do we only come and talk about that side of the conversation? Why do we only talk about that side? And we ignore this side. We ignore this. Not only do we ignore this behavior out of women, do you know it's other women that sit up around these women that are not saying nothing? They're not saying nothing. They going on out to the bar and the club with you knowing you left your kids in the house by themselves. God forbid a fire happens. God forbid they wander outside. I've seen that before. I've seen it before. Where a child, the mother actually went 2 hours away to a club with friends, left the kids in the house by herself. The little girl wandered outside. Why are we having a conversation when the welfare of a child is in question? I want to know. Why? Why not? Do y'all understand that there are kids in the system that are in the system because they have not been to school? Do you know there are children in the system that are in the system because they have not been to the doctors? Because they have been abused. They have been left somewhere and never picked up. Do you understand that? Y'all don't understand it because y'all only having a conversation from, okay, a man ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He ain't paying no child support. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. When women are out here abusing children, neglecting children. Do you want me to tell you something that I have told people this around me so many different times? If you know that a child is being abused and you don't say something, you're a part of the problem. You are just as guilty. You might as well have been the person that done it to them, because there's no way you can ever know that something is happening to a child and you are concerned about if this person, oh, well, I don't want this person to be mad if I call children and youth. I don't want this person to be mad at me if I speak up. Who's going to be a voice for our youth? Who's going to be a voice for our children? Who's going to be a voice for the community's children? And that's why I'm having this show. That's why I came to talk about this tonight. Some women aren't afraid to gossip about somebody's business, but you're afraid to speak up for a child that you know is being abused sexually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Let's talk about the kids that only eat when they go to school and they parent get food stamps. Let's talk about the ones that don't got clean clothes, but mom got a fresh sewing in baby. Oh, y'all don't. Why don't we have these type of conversations? Why? Let's talk about the moms that ain't even sending their kids to school. Don't even get up and walk their little 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-olds elementary child to school. Too hungover and high from the night before to make sure your baby gets to school safe and sound. I've seen it from my own eyes. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this dead winter and the kids are walking to school with a windbreaker jacket on, a track jacket on, it's snow on the ground, they're freezing. Ain't got no hat, ain't got no glove, ain't got no earmuffs, no scarf, nothing. Nothing. Let's talk about it. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to be a voice for these babies that are hungry. These babies that are sitting up and they 6, 7, 8, 9 years old and they gotta be a mom or a dad to the younger sibling because they left in the house by themselves. Why ain't nobody saying nothing? Why ain't nobody making no calls? There's women that'll sit up here and get mad at another woman over a man, or just jealous and envy, and call CPS for no reason. Call CPS on her for no reason. You ain't even calling CPS for the real reasons, though. Let's be real. You're not even calling CPS on the real reasons, though. I had so many women inbox me and say, Shalakimia, my mom hated me growing up. My mom don't even like me. My mom abused me. My mom allowed her boyfriend to sexually abuse me. I told her, she told me, she said I was lying. She told the whole family I was lying. Let's talk about it. Oh, y'all don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying. We could sit up here and dog walk black men all day long. But when it comes to this conversation, don't nobody want to have it. A man can have a warrant for his arresting because y'all hate black men so bad, y'all go call them cops, baby, and get him arrested. But ain't nobody calling CPS on their friend that left them kids in the house by themselves. Ain't nobody calling CPS on a friend that you know don't take care of them kids. Ain't nobody calling CPS on them, though. What's up? What's up? Y'all had all that to say in my comments. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines so y'all can have all that talk on my phone line. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up the phone lines so y'all can go ahead and run your mouth on this phone line. Let me put this number up here because I don't want nobody to get up here and get amnesia. People had everything in the world to say in the comments. Everything in the world to say. Defending this type of behavior. I'm waiting. The phone line's open. I'm waiting. Y'all was in, and I said right in the comments, y'all got all this mouth in the comments. I bet don't none of y'all women call in because y'all guilty. Y'all done sat up and y'all done witnessed kids getting abused in all type of ways and ain't said nothing. Some of these kids is hungry. Ain't no way that a child's only meal is when they go to school. What? What? Only meal is when you go to school. Hello, caller.
Hi, Shalakima.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, this Miss Jackson calling back again. You right. You're so right. It's me. I know plenty ladies that their children is just totally neglected. I have a family member that has about 10 children just giving away, but they're getting no food stamps.
Hold on 1 second. You gotta turn me off. In the background, you gotta turn me off.
Okay,
it's okay. Just turn me off.
Okay.
So it don't. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it okay?
Yeah, we can hear you good. Go ahead.
Okay, and I mean, this child actually had about 10 children, giving them children to different people, but still getting food stamps on the HUD. It's ridiculous. Or they're not even cooking, the children walking around dirty. Look how they did with all them stimulus checks. A lot of them children didn't get nothing. They either bought themselves cars, they didn't even buy groceries. What is oodles and noodles and these processed dinners that they feed these children? A lot of women out there neglecting their children and not doing what they need to do. And I sure speak on it. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's sad. They done ran and they done took that money. It was this big epidemic, and I don't even know how people didn't see it. It was a big epidemic while we was in a pandemic of women running and getting their body done, taking that stimulus money and whatever other money that they had, and went and got their body done and came back to United States, went to another country, came back to United States, and now you're struggling. You're struggling.
Yeah, there are a lot of them, it's sad to say, but a lot of them don't care about their children. And as you were saying about the black men, I mean, everybody make mistakes, but there's some good black men out here. These women use these children against them, and I'd be honest with you, I can't blame them. I think I would walk away myself and do the best if I had to go to court to try to get my children, because they use these children against them.
Right.
I have another family member in that situation. women are using the children against them. And that person is at a point where they like bump them children. It's sad, but I mean, they do need to call in since they bashing everything you say. They need to call in and see what they got, see if they're gonna tell the truth about their
They
neglect
ain't
of their
gonna
own
call
children.
in. They ain't gonna call in. They sit in the comments, you know, say this, that, and the third. Then they ain't gonna call in because I'm telling you, they don't want this smoke because they know what I'm saying is the truth. They done sat by and seen their friends mistreat their children. You see what I'm saying? They didn't sat by. I have sat up in many situations. I heard a girl tell me that she knew a little boy being abused and she ain't say nothing because she ain't want the mom to be mad at her. I said, the mom to be mad? The mom to be mad? Excuse me? That's where your mindset is as a woman? I said, what if that was you being molested? Wouldn't you want somebody to speak up for you? Wouldn't you want somebody to be a voice for you? They got this and they gossip about every goddamn thing else. But you won't sit up and speak up for a child being abused. You won't tell your friend, take care of your kids.
I sure say something. I let them know y'all started feeding each other processed stuff, but y'all going at the juicy crabs and red lobster, and the children left behind. Take them too. I was a mother of four, got married at 19 years old. But where I went, my children went, and they didn't go no. I didn't go nowhere that I couldn't take them.
And I'm not
But I
saying,
thank the Queen. I just hope they call in. I'm interested to see exactly what they're gonna say since they claim yeah, you was bashing them because you was standing up for those black men, and that's what these black men need. Speak the truth, Queen. I'm on your side.
thank you so much. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, you have a blessed day.
You too. Yeah, I wanna hear this. They gossip about everything. Your mouth can bash black men all day, but you can't tell your friend to take care of their kids. Y'all sit up here, y'all tell other black men, "Oh, you hang with him, he'll take care of his kids." But you hang with somebody that don't take care of their kids either. That's all I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong with a woman that's out here doing what she's supposed to do, enjoying herself, going on vacation. Her kids is clean when they go to school. Their hair is done. They got haircuts. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with her going on a vacation. I'm talking about the ones that don't do it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones where your kids' shoes is too small, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I've seen it with my own eyes. People have wrote in and told me. It's like, come on, we gotta do better. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Great. Did you want to weigh in on the
I'm
topic?
talk- yeah, I want to weigh in because it's interesting that you came up with this live tonight, and I've just been going through a situation with my nephews. Um, and you're right. Nobody won't speak up, and just like you said, if you're not speaking up, you're a part of the situation. And it's like the people that's not speaking up, they is fearful for the mama that don't like them, and they're not looking popular, I guess, or they called a snitch or whatever. But in the end, the children are the one getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. You're
It's
right.
like it's like they don't understand that the children are one hurt, and then years down the line, you could have said something, you could have prevented children from getting hurt and father. Like I'm going through a situation with my nephews, and
Mm-hmm.
what these women are doing, they think that they're doing what they got to do to keep a man, and they want to blame, and we want to look at, oh, she in an abusive relationship. But some of these women, they're abusing themselves.
True.
And it's because they stand with these men and they're spending all their money on these men and their lifestyle and taking away from the children. But the men stop caring or stop caring because the mother stopped caring about the children.
Mm-hmm.
And they think this make them keep a man, but the man looking at them and downgrading them, cheating on them and all this type of stuff because they see what type of woman you is, but the only reason they stay is because they know they can get what they can get from you. And they don't understand this.
You're right. You right. I've had men tell me, they tell me, Shalakimia, I don't want to be with a woman that don't take care of her kids. They tell me that. I don't want to be, they be like, yeah, it was cool at first, but then I peep, how she was with her kids. She don't take care of her kids. She want to go get a lace front, go get her eyelashes done, go get an outfit. Kids ain't got a meal. She ain't did no homework with them. Kids ain't in the house before dark. Come on, these men are seeing this. They don't want no woman like that. If you don't care about your kids, baby, you don't care about nobody.
Exactly, and they don't get that, and so we be thinking, oh, she with son, so that's the reason why she's not seeing what she need to be. First, you got to be a mother first. Now, being a mother doesn't have nothing to do with being a spouse to that man. It's like I was in situations where, like, my men friends, they was dads, but the beginning started with me. I had to be a mother. I had to feed that baby. I had to provide for that baby, no matter if the dad was there. And the person I'm talking about, I ain't gonna call, who is who, but I'm trying to get them to understand, even if their father leaves, you still supposed to have everything together. Well, you able to provide for your child because their child will be there, and you know that it's not no secret that the baby gonna go with the dad. A mother know that, but they care so much about what the image say. Oh, I'm gonna stay with this dude. The dude could not be hitting on them, nothing, never asking them for their money. And they don't even have to ask no more. They just give it to them. And you don't even feed the children. The children don't have clean clothes. Children barely going to school, like you said, but nobody is speaking up on this issue. And I'm going to be honest, it's a lot of children going through that.
Yeah, it is. And
no, they not going to call in. You right. They ain't going to call in because they know it's the truth. And they want to continue doing what they doing. But what they doing is they putting them off on this auntie, his cousin, and once them people build these children back up, give them a good bath, buy them clothes, shoes, they want to show up. I got custody, and snatch them up and snatch them away from you, and then go flies like they did something.
Yeah, you right. And then you as an aunt, because I'm an aunt too. You see what I'm saying? Then we got to step up to the plate, and it's like, I'm a cousin, a cousin too. But it's like we got to step up to the plate and be the voice for the child. It's like, who's the voice for the child? It's too much of this. It's too much of this going on. It's sad. And then you sit up and you see these women selling their food stamps, ain't went to the grocery store, selling the food stamps to go get an outfit or get some bundles. What your kids gonna eat for the money?
True. Like I had my nephews here, and I can tell that it's the first time they ever ate 2-3 times a day because they asking for seconds, thirds. I'm like, oh my God. And one thing I'm gonna leave with this, but one thing we was eating and I had finished my plate and I had, you finish your plate, you have something else on your plate. And I said, nephew, go put this on the table. He didn't go put it on the table or put it on the counter in the kitchen. He started eating what I had stopped eating. Wow. And I got so upset. I said, why would you eat from somebody's scraps? Like, who doing that to you? He was like, that's what they do. I said, why they doing that? He said, that's all it be. I said, what? Like, you telling me you will sit there and swab and eat out of a plate and then give your child a strap?
That's sad.
It hurt my heart so bad.
It's sad. You know what? I had a young boy that came to me because when my kids got off school, I made sure they had some food, a hot meal or some sandwich, some chips and stuff like that. And I had a
because you don't know what they feed them in school.
Right. And then the one little boy, he was like, Miss Mia, I just want to thank you so much. He was like, because all them times I was coming to your house eating, he was like, you didn't know my mom was on drugs. There was never no food at my house. He said, I ate at school and I ate at your house when I got off school. And I'm like, wow, you just never know what somebody going through. But for a child to not know where they going to eat, that should never be.
These people giving these girls $800, $900 worth of food stamps. Like, for example, I know somebody, they let their man friend keep the card. But before the stamp day come, the man had already sold the stamp. And your child eating once a day. These women, like that lady said, this processed food, that's not good for these children. They want to get them $1 little $2 piece at the store and think that, oh, you fool, you just ate. And then you had the children still ask for more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And I don't know what it's gonna take for it to change, but I know in my situation, it's like it's so crazy. You came on live and said this because I was just in tears because, like I said, I had my nephews that got snatched away from me today after I done built them up and trying. And then it's not just the clothes, not just the food. It's what they teaching them.
Right.
They don't like the children are not getting valuable lessons like how to sit at a table or how to clean brush their teeth every day or how to take a bath every day because they're not used to doing all this type of stuff. So it's like they lacking teaching on top of what they doing physically.
Right. It's
It
sad.
just don't make no sense. I'm out.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, girl, keep doing what you're doing and I'll marry you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I've been in that type of situation. Um, I've been I've been in that type of situation where I, took care of other people's kids, even through the foster care system. And when you see these kids, and I know what the Almighty God puts on me, I know what He tells me to do because I listen. And some of these kids did not want to go home, but I always have to be obedient. I know that I'm just a bridge, and I know that I'm just to love them, care about them, and take care of them until their parent get on their feet. But it's just me. I love kids, I've always taken care of them, made sure they was good, happy. But it's sad when you have kids just that you have me in my house with my kids. We have like Taco Tuesday. We have like on Fridays, we order, watch movies, and my kids are grown. And the same things I did with my kids, I did with the kids that were in my care, and it was like they wasn't used to sitting down at the table, eating as a family. They wasn't used to a big meal being cooked on Thanksgiving or Christmas. They wasn't used to in the summer, we going to the beach. And the kids that came to stay with me, they didn't want to go home. And that's what they expressed to me. And it was hard because it was structure in my home. You see what I'm saying? When you get off school, we do homework. Then we play video games. Then we watch a movie. You know what I mean? Y'all want to help me cook dinner? You see what I'm saying? It was the structure that I think that they really, really, loved. You know, it was like, let's go out, and the school dance is coming. Let's go get you something to wear, you know. And it was like they like we never been to a school dance before. It was just so many different things, and I feel like it's just experiences that kids should have. You know, they should be able to be social in a healthy way. They should be able to enjoy life and have structure and feel loved. And it's just so many things. And this is just near and dear to me because caring for kids has always been in my heart. I want them to feel loved and cared about. And they come first. We make sure that they're okay and they're straight and things like that. And then we go and we do, what we need to do. But kids being hungry is unacceptable. Them being neglected is unacceptable. Them feeling like they're not loved is unacceptable. Abusing them is unacceptable. Downing them, telling them they're nothing. A girl in my comments said earlier, her mom used to slap her in the face, you know what I mean, and punch her in her face and tell her she ain't nothing and stuff like that. That's unacceptable. But why are we ignoring stuff like that? I know people that have admitted to me and said, Charlotte Kenya, you're right. I'm a part of the problem because I never said nothing. But why are we doing that? When the abuse comes from women, we're not saying nothing. But when it comes to a man, we can't wait. We can't wait to say something. I'm gonna open the phone line back up. I'm waiting. I'm waiting on them women that was in my comments that had all that mouth, that had everything to say, that was defending this type of behavior. I'm waiting for y'all to call in. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I know you're going to answer that quick. Hey, girl. Hey, thank you for answering and thank you for everything that you're doing. All your inspiration. And our black men do need, some big ups and need to be recognized and appreciated. Father's Day is like the least favorite holiday.
Yeah.
But you have to understand one thing, sis. And I'm gonna call real smooth to you now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that black women been raising kids since been raising kids, and who is out there to protect and appreciate us and uplift us, except ourselves. So I understand that we got a lot of young mothers that's out there, and they parents are young mothers as well. They're gonna be young grandmothers as well. You understand? And the situation that we've been put in is structural and it's systemic. So we can't all put the whole blame on them. We as black
can't
people,
put the whole blame on them.
We're proud people. We like to look nice and smell good. You know what I'm saying? And the way when you dress nice, you feel good. You know what I'm saying? You look good, you feel good. We already in a situation.
You can't put the blame. You can't put the blame on who?
Ma'am.
You said you can't earlier. You said you can't put all the blame on who? I'm trying to understand who you're talking about.
On black women. On black women, like I said, this is a structural situation we in. It's a systemic situation that we in. We've been marginalized. Black women been taking care of babies since been taking care of babies. We were taking care of the white people babies. You know what I'm saying? And now we've been left on our own to take care of our children. And the fathers have taken to the streets to hang out with the boys. They've been buying rims and gold chains and gold teeth and doing stuff like that. But where we at? You know what I'm saying? Where are they to help us, feel feminine? Because, we got a lot of masculine females that got a lot of masculine energy, do a lot of, I'm a strong, black, independent woman kind of stuff, right?
So my question,
that's what we do, right?
My question,
we've been forced to carry that trope, haven't we?
My question to you is you came in here, you said you can't put all the blame on black women, but black women put all the blame on black men for a very, very long time. And I don't hear nobody, saying anything about that. I'm not talking about women that have raised their kids and, care for their kids. I'm talking about the ones that are not. It's a high number. There's a lot of kids in the system. I don't know if you know this. It's a lot of kids in the system. They're in the system because they were being abused. Now kids are in the system because they're not going to school. Parents are not sending their kids to school. Parents are not taking their kids to the doctors. It's a bigger epidemic than people think. Kids are being left in the house by themselves.
I don't work with kids that's in the system, so you have, more experience in that arena, and I understand where you're coming from. Now, like I said, I appreciate you bringing these conversations to light and giving a platform for people like me to come talk to you about things like this. Because there's more than just this going on in our community with, these gender wars. It ain't got to be about that. We're supposed to be on a level where, we're most accommodating with each other. That means men and women being accommodated with each other. Our black men and women being accommodated with each other. Most accommodating. Just like we are with Miss Ann and Mr. Charlie. Even more so. Because we're our own allies. We're our only allies.
Do you?
And I love you, and I need you. Just like we need them, and they need us. And that's where I'm at mentally. As far as where we at right now in this time being, that's where I'm at.
Okay, so do you understand what we're talking about tonight? Because we're not talking about gender.
Said,
we're not talking about gender wars.
These are deadbeat mothers. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And when you first came on, you were talking about how, we raise, we're raising kids, and what you say, men are in the streets buying gold chains.
A lot of women, a lot of young mothers, they raising them on their own.
Right. I'm not saying they're not. It's a lot. It's a lot of black men raising kids on their own too, right? You didn't know that? Oh, okay. You don't know that.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't experienced that in large quantities.
So you speaking from you're speaking from the knowledge that you have. You're not knowledgeable overall.
Right, not knowledgeable in the arena that you are. Not saying that I am not equipped, but I'm saying that what I'm saying is that we have a structural system that's in place that corrals us into areas like that, that dumbs us down. You understand? We get the public school education to go out to be workers instead of, entrepreneurs and things of that nature. This is a systemic thing, and we have to combat it. We have to combat it by pulling together and pulling, like, this is a communal issue. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad you having this conversation, because this is something that needs to be talked about. And we need to have these powwows and make sure that we're doing the right things for our next generation, so they become a generation of community ambassadors, a community of leaders, that will take us into the next frontier for us. Because, we have to bring back Black Wall Street. And how are we going to do that if we're still having a gender war?
But what does gender war have to do with deadbeat moms? Like, but this is my thing. You said you weren't knowledgeable that there are fathers out here raising children. It's a high number. Maybe you should do some research before you come to the table and you say, women are raising kids on their own and we've raised, we do, but there's also a high number of single fathers out here because the mom ran out on her responsibility, but we won't never come to the table and talk about that.
We understand that, but we always know about the trope about mothers, babies, and fathers, maybe, right? Are you a part of the Black family? I know you know that trope. Mothers, babies, fathers, maybe.
Well, maybe that saying came from a woman I know who her baby's dad is because she slept with multiple men. Maybe it came from that. Because why would they say fathers? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a woman laying in the bed about to give birth, and two fathers are sitting next to the bed. Y'all want to talk about that or no? You don't want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that's real life.
In between, it can't be just like, okay, we have lost grips on what the family structure is, and that we need to pull together as the Black family and heal ourselves. And that's an internal look with the collective self, and we have to get to a point, like I said, where we're grooming nothing but leaders coming out. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but leaders. So we have to start young with these mothers that are single moms and that they don't have all the faculties they need because they sometimes are quite young. You know what I'm saying? That a brain doesn't really mature until you're 25 years old. And these people are young people. So they're going to place their value system in a different different prioritization.
Okay, so does that same thing go for, does that go for our Black men? Because I hear people use that as an excuse a lot when it comes to, Black women. But we as a human being, as a person, your mind doesn't develop in those young ages like that. That's anybody.
Right. I hear that from men all the time. Saying that they don't, develop as quickly as women do. So you have that kind of backwards. So I got what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I really do agree. I agree because like I said, and we both agree actually that, young mothers are parenting the young children these days, and none of us really have all the faculties because of the miseducation, that we've been subjected to, the ideology, the indoctrination. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take it into consideration, and we've got to find a way to combat that. Instead of tearing each other down, let's come on together and find out how to combat it together. Because we can do it. It's an inward look that we have to take. We have to look at the collective self.
Okay.
Because it's all our responsibility, because none of us got really the roadmap,
Okay.
But we can figure it out together. And thank you. You can have the floor. Okay. I'm sorry. I think it's a long-winded, but yeah.
It's okay. I think you just need to be knowledgeable on both ends before you speak on one. I know, us as Black women, we so used to and we so programmed to know our struggles, but not knowing the struggles of, our counterparts. We should know each other's struggles because it's not just a Black woman thing. It's a us thing, Black and brown, whatever people say. It's a us thing though, So I think we should know each other's struggles and be, compassionate, respectful, and understanding of each other. And not just feeling like me as a Black woman, I'm the only one that's going through something. I'm the only one to raise a child. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, we're the least respected and the least protected.
That's not true. That's not true. So you're making.
We're such a strong, independent strong black woman, right? You know the tropes. You know that's what's been put on us.
But that's not true.
It's
That's not
not.
true.
It's
I
not.
think I think I think what you're doing, I think what you're doing, I think what you're doing, and I'm saying this in all love. I think what you are
Yes.
doing is you're repeating the things you hear. That's what I feel. You're repeating what you hear. That's like a big thing. Oh, the black woman is the least protected. How? How? I've seen so much stuff
Okay,
on
so
social
what about the
media.
lady that just got beat all in the face and the black man standing right there behind him? The lady getting, black woman getting beat up all in the face by this white man. And the black man standing right behind
I
him.
see that.
Just
I see
standing right
that.
there.
And
You know, even that's what he's talking. We have to, like, I don't care if it's a man or a
that's
woman, a man, a
okay,
woman, a
but
man, a man, a
this
man.
is my
You know what I'm
thing.
saying?
He don't represent all black men. I've seen black men stand. Do you know that, what are they called? The Black Panther Party. I don't know what they're called. Somebody in the comments tell me what they're called. But there's a group of men and some women that when something happens to somebody, anybody, and especially women and children, they go and they stand on the front line. So no, that's not every man that sits around and does things like that. That was unfortunate that happened to her. That pissed me off that happened to her, and it pissed me off that he stood there and he didn't do nothing.
Right,
Because we would have drugged that man out that store. You understand? Drug him straight out of there. But at the end of the day, he don't represent every black man. We got to stop sitting up thinking because one don't protect or whatever situation that somebody went through with somebody that's all of them. That's not all of them.
You're right. It's some women, like with these people that's going to the nail salons and stuff. Black men, when it stood up for them at the nail salon, they went right back in there.
Exactly.
He ain't did no work. You know,
and what happened at the convenience store? Because see, this is again, I'm gonna check you again. All in love. You are going by what you heard. Did you even see all them black men that went up to that store? Did you see them? They went up to that store. Yeah, they went. Yeah, they showed up.
No, I didn't see the after effect. No.
Yeah, research that. It was on the news.
We're gonna still go back to them and spend our money with them. I propose that we, strangle them off at the vine by boycotting. Boycott. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. All these people who come in our neighborhoods, drop down and make business, make $1 million a year in our communities. We need to learn how to go past them into a black business and find a black business to,
I agree with that.
support.
I agree with that part. But you need to go and you need to, if you're gonna come to the table and you're gonna have a conversation with somebody and try to say, well, what about the black man that was in the video when the woman got assaulted? Know the whole story. It was on the news.
And it was just like you said, one person, that was one black man.
It was.
One black man that stand up. But in the collective, in the whole collective,
do you feel unprotected? Do you feel unprotected?
Like be more accommodating to support and protect each other.
Do you feel unprotected?
We are such soft targets when it comes to people and how brutal they are against us, and we need to prepare ourselves is what I propose. And like I said, it's dealing with young black women and the children they're raising to turn them into ambassadors and community leaders. And we have to work on the collective self, and that's part of our collective self. So I appreciate this conversation, sis. Don't take me wrong. I'm out of respect and love and appreciation for what you do. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Right.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. Do you feel unprotected by black men?
At the times when, there is like trauma and adversity towards us.
I'm not. Yeah, no, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question.
I don't feel like that we are, because an incident like what happened in Buffalo, can occur, and we'll go and forgive those people and give them forgiveness for doing those things to us.
That wasn't. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening to understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said, do you feel unprotected by black men?
Yes.
Why?
Because of my past experiences and just viewing the climate today.
No. Don't talk about nothing else. You said your past experiences with black men made you feel unprotected.
Right.
Okay, we're not going to talk about TV, social media, nothing you saw, nothing you heard. You feel that way. Have you ever felt protected by a black man?
Yes.
You have.
Yes.
So then you really don't feel unprotected. You just been in some situations. Am I right?
Yeah. So you mentioned my words. See, I told you in the past I felt unprotected by black men.
Okay.
I felt threatened. I felt threatened. You understand?
But
so
see,
that's the thing. I felt threatened by black men.
You're not listening though. I said, do you feel unprotected now?
That's the only man that has stepped up to protect. In my life. So that's you know what I'm saying. I have a story like deeper. You know what I'm saying. I don't want to like put it all out there. But like I said, as far as the men protecting fathers and grandfathers, they weren't in my life.
Okay. I asked you, do you feel unprotected? Do you feel unprotected now?
With the social climate, yes, of course. You feel protected?
I do feel I feel very protected.
Okay.
I feel very protected. What does social climate have to do with you not feeling protected? Explain it to me, because I'm interested.
Okay, so you understand that we are in a war, that we are prisoners of war, right?
Who we at war with?
Who we at war with? Our 465-year enemy.
And who are they?
Okay, suspected white supremacists and suspected white supremacists that uphold the systematic.
Did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said? You said white.
What did you say?
You said white. I said, do you feel unprotected by black men? You asked me, do I? I said, yes, I feel very protected. You said no because of social climate. And then you said white people. What does that have to do with black men?
Okay, there you go. Okay, so where is our first line of defense?
What do you mean? Where's our first line of defense at? I mean, I don't know for you, but I don't feel unprotected. I just don't.
I mean, we had the NFC, right? The NFC. That's what they was called, right? Like the little militia type guy. The what's his name? I don't want to talk. Okay, I don't want to bring him up. But what I'm saying is, we have to have some line of protection for us. And right now, they're falling back. It's like they're falling back. They're not stepping up. Some are, some aren't. So you know what I'm saying. We just got to get to the like-minded people. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, okay. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You have a good night. Do you understand it's dangerous when people don't know what they're talking about? Do y'all see it's dangerous when people do not even know what they're talking about and you repeat information that you ain't even sure about? How? I'm confused. What is going on? So people don't know what they talk about. Okay. All right. Okay. Hello, caller.
Yeah, I've been listening to the episode, and just want to first thank you for building this platform and being very unbiased with these discussions and topics. And I'm not a father. However, I've been working with kids. I'm an educator. I've been working with kids for about 10 years.
Okay.
All of my brothers, they have kids. My sisters have kids. And I have a lot of godchildren. So I'm hoping that my experience working with youth gives me some credibility here. I think the issue is, like the last caller, she touched on, well, a lot of the callers touched on a lot of great points. I think the most important thing to look at is the fact that a lot of our issues are rooted in our history here in this country, but it doesn't mean that it's an excuse, because at this point, we know we have access to information. We can search things. We share information. We know we got social media. Information spreads. So we are not taking the time to heal ourselves and to make sure that we don't have broken people attracting other broken people. And we're not taking the time to look at our attachment styles and look at how this is influencing literally the repeated cycle when people find themselves in these toxic, unhealthy relationships that goes on and on. And what I see a lot of is, like, all of the dudes that I know with kids, they all take care of their kids. Like, most of them, their kids actually live with them. They're with their girl or their wife and their kids under one roof, or they are like with their kids like the majority of the week. So I think also we got to remember that there is an agenda with the media and all of this stuff to purposely make us think that, information, like to make us purposely think that there aren't Black fathers out there doing what they got to do, to make us purposely think that there aren't Black men who are going to college and graduating. Like, so it's like this whole entire agenda that's keeping us only seeing what they put in front of us. And if you look at the history, like, even like, I'm in my early 30s growing up. As a kid, I was watching Jerry Springer and Maury and all of this Steve Wilkos. I was watching these shows that was literally reinforcing the idea of men being irresponsible. You would see it on the show, literally. They say, well, Bobby, Tyrone, you are not the father. And then now he's clapping hands and running down the aisle, and everybody's cheering him on because he now don't have no responsibility. So this is like, we don't think about how the media has reinforced these things culturally, and it's so embedded in the culture. Even if we can go all the way back to slavery, of them purposely breaking up families. So this dysfunction that we see is rooted in slavery. We know that. Now we can move on. So let's say, boom, now we know that there's an agenda to purposely keep us dysfunctional. So now how do we overcome that? By having these types of conversations, for one, by making sure that us as Black people, we go into therapy. It's okay to go to church. It's okay to go to the mosque. It's okay to believe in whatever God you want to believe in, but you need to go to therapy too. Right. So, we gotta get that out there. And then we gotta start again looking at the fact that so many people have grown up in these toxic households, these toxic environments where they can't talk about anything and everything gets swept under the rug. So then, like I seen somebody say in the comments, these children become adults who perpetuate the cycle and end up in the same toxic relationships. Or, these little girls who grow up moving fast, thinking that, oh, if I get this dude if he's attracted to me physically, then he's gonna love me and make me feel like a woman. So then they getting involved, and he's broken too, because he ain't had a father to show him certain things, or his mom, he's watched his mom not be loved properly. So now he's also, or maybe he was emotionally neglected by his mom. So now he's also searching for the validation from a woman. And then, so now you got two dysfunctional people in a relationship trying to be validated by each other, and neither one of them can give each other what they want because they don't even understand themselves. Like, we just broken and just searching for love, but not searching for healing. Right. So we gotta stop just trying to find somebody. Everybody's in a rush to get in a relationship. And I mean, and I don't want to stray too far away from the topic of the deadbeat moms, because going back to that, like I mentioned, I'm working in the schools. I've had situations where, a parent will come pick up their child, and, and the kid don't want to go home. They like, I don't want to go home. Like, and I'm like, it's time to go. Like, you see, and then there's times where the parent will come in and is cursing at the child, like, bring your ass on and come on, you know, and it's like, yo, we in front of the school staff, his other kids, his peers are around, like, and a lot of times there's just no, there's no professional. I mean, I'm not asking parents to be professional,
right?
But there's no couth. I've heard that word used before. Like, there's no decency, like decorum. Like, come on, like, you can't just be anywhere saying anything. Now, granted, there are some people who treat their kids however, and they don't care what you gotta say, and they go home and treat them the same way they treat them in front of you. So it's like, but then you have the ones who are abusing the kids and treating them real nice and private, but in public they making it seem like it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we have a lot of different dynamics here, and the issue again is that a lot of these people are broken and they don't take time to heal, and instead they are now find themselves in raising a child, or now she's pregnant, whatever, and now she got to put her whole life on, her whole personal development, her spiritual development, emotional, is all on pause because she trying to cater to the child, but she don't even know how.
Right.
She don't even know how to give the child the emotional support and things that he needs because she's still stuck in her own mess.
Mm-hmm.
And feeling resentful towards the father or unforgiveness towards the father. So now she just projecting it onto the child. And the child ain't asked to be here. None of us asked to be here.
Right. You better preach.
You know, so we all growing up in this situation. And if we don't take the time to understand ourselves and understand the dynamic of our parents' relationships, and even our grandparents, because there's something called ancestral trauma, inherited trauma. This is a real thing that we all have, especially Black people.
Yeah.
So we're not taking the time to heal. And again, I just want to thank you for, you know, building this platform and having this discussion. And I don't want to take up too much airtime.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
And you know, I'm glad, you know, him as an educator, that he came on, you know, and just expressed what he sees, you know, because we don't know what other people see within their jobs as working with kids. It's a problem if a child, I feel like it's a problem if a child don't want to go home. I really feel like that's a problem. Not every child, because some, you know, some kids, you know, it's another situation. But some children don't want to go home because of the way they're talked to, the way they're treated, because of the abuse. And who do they tell? The very person that you trust, your parents, right? But if it's just you and your mom, it's like you trust your mom. Just like the guy on the other show talked about the woman, the woman that told her daughters the reason that they couldn't see their dad all those years. They were grown at this point. They couldn't see their father because their father abused them sexually, or he was sexually abusive or something like that, and that was a lie. That was a lie. Do you know that those girls believe that about their father because they trust their mother? They love their mother. Who's not going to believe what their mom said? That's one of the first or second people we trust in life. As a child, who else can you trust? You don't expect your mom to lie to you. That mother lied to her girls. And that's why her girls never had a relationship with their father. But that man had to sit there on national TV and eat that. And eat that. Do you know how many years that lie was told on him? That was a lot of years. And if she told her girls that, how many other people she done lied to and said that this man was sexually abusive? That I'm just showing a pattern of those girls believe their mom because they trusted her and they love her. So kids trust and love their parent. But let me tell you something. Some of these kids don't even know they're being abused. They think that the behavior, that they think the things that are happening to them is okay behavior. And then just like that educator said, then they turn around and they do it to their children. You know why? Because they think it's okay. When children are molested or sexually abused, some of them don't know that that's wrong. They haven't been taught that yet. Nobody sat them down and had a conversation with them. So they don't know it's wrong. I know somebody earlier said it was a child that said when she was abused, it felt good to her. That's sick. And that's sad, not on the child's behalf, on the abuser's behalf. Our kids depend on us to teach them certain things. They depend on us to protect them. They're not thinking I need protected from my mother or protected from my father or protected from my family. They're not thinking that. I'm going to open the phone lines back up. I got like 99 missed calls. I'm going to try to keep everybody to 4 or 5 minutes. Hello, caller.
Hey, how you doing? Is Shalamakina?
Shalakemia, yep, this is me.
How you doing? How you doing, sweetie?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, I'm the truck driver. I always used to leave little comments for you. I'm a truck driver.
Okay.
And I'm in my truck right now, getting it fixed. I'm at the terminal and everything, and I just saw your title, and I wanted to call in, and I wanted to holler about that. You know what I mean?
Okay, go
ahead.
know,
My mom, she died, but she kept, my father a complete mystery, and she painted him as a monster. So I got the majority of my teaching from the street, from the God body, back in the day and all of that. You know what I mean? Getting in fights, multiple fights and everything. But, one thing I did not do is I didn't sell crack, because I know that, for some strange reason, it would suck out the Holy Spirit out of you. I got baptized at 12. Mm-hmm. And, I was in the books heavy. Mm-hmm. My mother, she was in college, but she dropped out because she was selling coke. But she still kept the books, and I read them all, and, I was able to develop a college level reading, aptitude by the age of 13. So, I was highly advanced as a young black man, but, I was still, shunned in school, and everything like that, like, that I wasn't educated or I was less than because I was a young black boy, I got a son. I got me a son, with my ex-wife and everything, but she makes it extremely hard for me to have him because I'd be wanting to take him with me in the truck. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that, single parent mothers, and I'm not knocking single parent mothers, specifically black women, okay? Mm-hmm. And because I'm a black man, that they put their daughters up on game a whole lot quicker than they would their sons, you know what I'm saying? So, I spend a lot of time when I do talk to my son, when he calls me, and I try to encourage him to call me more, I put him up on game about, how devious women can be, and the things that women do behind closed doors, and, the type of things that women can get away with in the system of white supremacy. It is a shame to say that, it's like a upscale or upgraded version of a mammy. A lot of people don't research the history of a mammy. They got statues of mammy holding up white babies to the soldiers, the white soldiers that came back from war. And I find that absolutely appalling. I find it absolutely appalling how, and my mother, she catered to white men. And I noticed that she, idolized white men. Mm-hmm. And I remember she used to parade, these black men through our house and everything. And I would always have to, as a young man, I had to go up fast and I had to run these dudes up out of the house.
you know, because she was always picking the wrong dude, you know what I'm saying? And she wasn't sniffing coke with him or smoking weed with him and everything like that. You know, I would come out of my room and, you know, she'd be laying on the couch butt naked with this dude. And I'm like, wow. You know, you disciplining me and hit me upside the head with food cans, and you hitting me and you punching me in my face, and, you know, trying to act like the dude and everything, you know, and yet I'm seeing you doing all of these idiosyncrasies, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, now one thing I never did, I never would hit a woman. I would never ever hit a woman, not even to this day. You know what I'm saying? Before, if a woman is gonna bring me out of my character, you know, I'm gonna walk away, man. I'm gonna walk away. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put my hands on no woman, but you know, it just was so many times that my mother had did so many atrocities to me that, you know, I really want to do something. But you know what? And I ended up moving out of the house at an early age, at the age of 17. I was still in high school. Because I had my girlfriend over, and you know, we was really good together. You know, I met her in high school, and she was impressed with the fact that I was so independent and I had a job. Because I kept a job. That's one thing I always did. You know, I keep me a job. And she was impressed at the fact that I had my own apartment. You know what I mean? But I had my girlfriend over. This was a defining moment where I had to actually move out. You know, I had my girlfriend over, and I was in my room. Now I'm paying half of the rent, most of the rent, actually, because my mother was on welfare. You know, she was back welfare and playing that game where, you know, where the people come over, you know, you got to put on your Sunday best, and I'm like, wow, you know, why are you putting on these airs for these white people? You know what I'm saying? But you'll get around other black people, and you'll act like you're better than them, and you know, you'll get around black men ruling them and setting them up for destruction. You know, but she was like, oh, you can't be having no girl in your room and all of this. But I'm like, and I told her, it was a realistic conversation. I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm like, wait a minute. I got a job at the hospital. I'm giving you $400 in my check. I'm working 90-hour weeks. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm putting in work. My check was like $700 back then. That was a lot of money. I was pocketing this payment every dime. And I'm like, yo, I'm paying you like $400-500 in rent. What do you mean I can't have no girl in my room? Oh, no, if you want to live by your own rules, you got to get up out of here. I said, oh, okay. I'm glad you said that, you know? And I don't know where I got this motivation to be so resilient and adamant about succeeding. I must have got it from my father. I never knew it, you know? But, you know, I kept jars of money in my room, in my room, in which she had robbed me a couple years ago. Before that, it took all my money. I think I had like $1,500, but at this particular time, I had saved up like $4,000. And I said, oh, okay, I'm glad you said that. The very next day, I found me an apartment, and I paid 6 months in advance. Now, back then, rent was $200 a month for a nice little one-bedroom apartment. And I had it in an upscale part of the community at that. And I'm in high school. The white man was very impressed. He was like, wow, you're such a young man with all this money. You know, can you verify your money? I started whipping out pay stubs. It's like, oh, wow, okay. Because he assumed that I was a drug dealer.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you get to meet your father?
When did I actually get to what?
Meet your father.
I met my father when I was like 26. And what I did is, because I had a car at that time, I just got my car. And I think I was working, I just got my CDL. This was like 30 years ago. I'm 51 now, but, you know, and when I went to go see him, he was staying in a homeless shelter. My father was the son of a bishop. My father was a preacher. I come from a long line of preachers. You know, and my grandfather, his name was Moses, he owned a couple of churches. And from stories I heard, he was very, very mean and strict. And my father was the same way. But when I met him, he was in a homeless shelter. Looked like he wasn't doing so good. And come to find out, my father was a mama's boy. Because he grew up in the church. And the church, you know how church kids are, they got everything. So, you know, they gave him money or whatever when my grandparents had died. And I guess he messed it all up. But he was with a white woman. He was married to a white woman. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to bond with
man the best way that I could.
Right.
And so he invited me to church. Now I was going back then. I was going back to church. I was going to church every Sunday. I was going to Bible study. All of that because I was very immersed in the Word of God, walking circumspectively with the Word of God back then. Even up until then, until I started noticing a lot of hypocrisy. But the thing is that I still kept the spirit of the Holy Ghost within me, and I protected it. And so he gave me an onyx ring. I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. It hurt my heart. I cried. Oh my God, it hurt my soul. He gave me a onyx ring. He said, "Here, this is for you, sonny." Because I had took him for a ride in the car and everything, and because I wanted to talk to him man to man, and just talk to him about all the things. And he just shunned me for my so-called half brother that he had with this woman. And he would always talk about him, and I didn't want to hear about him. But anyway, he gave me this onyx ring, right? And I think we got in some type of argument because I brought my wife, the woman that I married, because she was going for her master's degree. I was going for my engineering degree, bachelor. It was associates in engineering. But I'm not saying she was a virgin. And rather, she was a virgin as far as I know. But she was going for her master's degree. So I decided to bring her over, to the homeless shelter for him to meet her. Now, my ex-wife, she is very dark-skinned, but she's a very beautiful dark-skinned. I find dark-skinned women very beautiful. I'm the kind of guy that would gravitate towards a light-skinned woman. I'm not saying that. It depends on whoever God gives you, that's what you got. But what I'm saying is, I gravitated towards the dark-skinned woman because I was very attracted to her. Okay. You know what I mean? And I want my children, I want to keep it,
Right. So you took her to see, see your dad.
I brought her, and he was appalled. He was appalled. He didn't want to say anything, but I could read it in his face with her. But we got to arguing and everything. I'm like, yo, how come nothing I do you don't accept it? But you look at me as an outcast, And then I'm gonna wrap all of this up. But to make a long story short, we had got an argument, and that Sunday we went to church. There was a church. We went to church, and he met me in the lobby. Oh yeah, I need to see you. Yeah, I need that ring back. What are you? Huh? What?
Wow.
I need it back. And I'm like, are you serious? Oh my God. You can't be serious, man. You're supposed to be my dad, man. You don't take, that's like King Solomon. That's like King David telling King Solomon, you know what? Give me back the throne. You don't deserve it. I'm taking it back. Do you understand what that felt like? So I took the ring off and I threw it at him. Shortly after that, he died. He died after that. Oh. So I goes to the funeral. And this is, I goes to the funeral. And when I go to the funeral, okay, when I went up to his coffin, at that particular point, I just grabbed, because I was in the military.
Okay.
Military, and I served the Army, and the Army on my back. And
all right, we gotta wrap it up though, because I let you on here but just go ahead. I want you to finish. I want you to get it out.
Wrap it up. I put my black belt, because I just graduated as a black belt. I put my black belt in the coffin. After that, my mother told me that I was a mistake baby. She told me that I was a one-night stand. She had a one-night stand with my father, and that's how I came about.
Wow. I'm sorry.
You broke my heart, man. I'm 51. I'm 51.
I'm so
it broke.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I want you to know that, I know that's your mother, and she should have never said that. She was dead wrong for saying that. But you're not a mistake.
Oh man.
You're not a mistake though. And don't feel like you are one because it came from her.
I can't even stay in a relationship. I'm right now. Do you know how lonely I am in this truck? I've been alone for the last 5 years, 6 years.
Wow.
It's so lonely. I can't find a woman that, can basically match my energy and my vibration. Because, when I look at somebody, I look at them through the spirit of the Holy Ghost.
Right.
And I listen to it. And if it does, don't go around them, stay away from them. Because if you do, God will allow them to hurt you. Because he wants you to, God will let you know. He'll let you know, listen, I don't want you around that person. So I've lived the life of a nomad. I live in this truck. I save all of my money. I live in this truck. This is my life. Lonely. You just don't know how bad I need a companion. I want a companion. But there's no woman out there I can trust because they always up to something evil.
But they're not doing which. But let me explain something to you.
I'm so sorry.
And so no. Let me explain something to you. That's the problem. As long as you have the mindset of they're evil, you're not going to find her. Because why would the Almighty God send her your way when what you're going to do is hurt her? Because she's coming with pure intentions. You got to understand that. It's women out here that value black men, don't mind empowering y'all, love y'all for y'all. You see what I'm saying? And ain't looking for like what we can get from y'all. We looking for who you are, how you treat us. You see what I'm saying?
I can't go. You used to be able to go to the church and everything, and then you could, because it says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." But
how you gonna find a good thing? How you gonna find a good thing with that mindset? You got to change your mindset. You got to get rid of that. You got to be able to receive her. That's why you've been alone all this time. You're not ready to receive her. You got to pray on that mindset. You got to get rid of that. And soon as you heal from it, soon as you change your mindset, and soon as you're ready to receive her, watch you find her. Watch you find her. She waiting on you. She waiting on you.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking my call, though. I really thank you. I listen to all your videos. I love you. I love when you come on and everything. And I wanted to tell you that if you take black seed oil, it come in the pill form and in the liquid form. It's called black seed oil, organic black seed oil. If you take that, it'll heal you.
Okay.
And I'm like, if you got like a brain tumor and stuff like that, it will heal you because I got shot in the head and I got shot in the leg. And from taking a lot of black seed oil and stuff like that on a daily regimen and stuff like that, I'm able to do martial arts like I've never been able to do before. Now I'm even better at it. Now, I'm able to, think about being a trainer, but like I said, I'm in the truck and I'm just trying to find me a place to settle. I want to find me a good place to settle, where, like you said, I can find that special her. You know what I mean?
And you will. And you will. Tonight you need to pray on that mindset. You got to get that out of your mind. You got to be ready to receive the person. If you thinking that they all evil and they all got an agenda, then what you think you gonna get?
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? But I want you to know that stay strong, stay focused, make sure you pray tonight, change that mindset, and watch your world turn around when you start expecting the bump into that good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I really appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely.
Bless you and your family.
Thank you.
And
you too.
Take my advice so that you can heal too.
I will. I'm gonna get me some black seed oil. I'm gonna get me some. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are a queen. I'm gonna tell you just like that. You are a queen, very beautiful, and I hope to receive a woman like you, so that that's got that mindset like you have. Because any man that would have, man, he's definitely blessed and he's king. You know what I mean? So I just hope and pray that I find me a woman just like you, and I really mean that with everything in my heart.
Oh, okay? Thank you so much.
All right, so you be cool now, okay?
You too. Have a good night.
All right, peace.
Okay, peace. Let me tell you on my comments something. Okay. Don't be in my comments talking about we off topic. Don't do that. I did. I know I said I'm going to keep people to 4 and 5 minutes. Don't be in my comments talk about 5 minutes. Don't do that. The people that call in, they need to vent. They need to get it out. And that's okay. I want people to get it out. Sometimes when you get it out and you express it, healing starts to take place when you actually say what you have had bottled up inside for so long. But I know we're at like 200 missed calls. But we're going to take the next caller. The line is open and it's free. You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, this was so important to come in and to definitely discuss. So important. You know, this platform and so many of us are a voice, you know, for our children. I don't want us to be afraid to speak up because somebody's gonna be mad. We have to do what's in the best interest of children. There, right there, him saying his mom told him he was a mistake. Do you know how many times I hear that? That is awful. That is ignorance. And y'all gotta be careful of people being friends with somebody that don't take care of their kids, being around somebody that you see talking to their kid. If they don't have no loyalty to their children, why you ever think they gonna have loyalty to you? And I'm just being real. I tell people that all the time. I'm just being real about it. Yeah, Miss Brown, I'm gonna get me some black seed oil. I was taking black seed oil before. But you know, I'm gonna get me some. We definitely have to continue being a voice for our children. Our children are unprotected. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to continue these generational teachings and these generational curses like this. I could tell, you know, that young man that called in, he wanted to vent that for a very long time. That it had him in tears. That hurt and pain and trauma start coming out through his tears. Do y'all know black men don't get to cry? There's no safe space for them to cry. Where they gonna cry at? In an environment where they have people around them telling them, be strong, stay strong, you a man, do this, do that. We are human beings that all hurt the same. We all hurt. We all need to cry. It's times I lay in bed and cry at night about thinking about things from when I was growing up and think about how people have hurt me. Come on. We can't keep brushing things like this under the rug. There are women out here that are abusive. They're neglecting their children. This is my thing. If these women don't want the children, give the children to the dad. Give the children to the dad's family. Why not? You know why? Because some women will rather sit up and see the man hurt, his family hurt, instead of just handing the child over so the child can have a better life. I've had moms come to me and say, I fit that narrative of a deadbeat mom. But I want to go here, right? There's no handbook on how to be a parent. But if you don't know how to be a parent, get under somebody that do. Learn from other people. Because I get it that everybody's not taught certain things. I feel like parenting classes should be mandatory. Because we got to make sure that our kids are safe, they're eating. We have to make sure we're doing what's best for them. And what's best for them is they're spending time with both parents. It's best for them. What's best for them is not sitting up and bashing the other parent, you know, to the child. Why do we want to spill negativity into them? Why do we want to pour negativity? Why do we want to show them negativity and expose them to that? How we feel about their father is how we feel about their father. We should never be angry and mad to the point where we're teaching them how to be angry and mad. We're teaching them trauma. We shouldn't do that. We got a lot of parts to cover with this. And in 2 Sundays, we're gonna do deadbeat mothers part 2. And I encourage people to come on here and share their testimony. You don't gotta share your name, you don't gotta share nothing. Share, because you never know who else may have experienced that, may be experiencing it. You don't know if you may help somebody heal from the trauma that they have went through, but we can't keep overlooking that it's just not fathers out here causing trauma, but that there are mothers out here causing trauma as well. Some of y'all women watching, y'all have took care of your sister's kids, your cousin's kids. Y'all do foster care. Y'all taking care of someone's children. We can't keep ignoring this. We can't keep being silent. These children have no voice on their own. We are their voice. We are their voice. Absolutely, Gary. Next Sunday, we're not going to have a show, because I'll be out of town. But the following Sunday, when I get back, we're going to do part 2. And we're going to have this conversation further. And once we wrap it up, it's going to be healing. We're going to have, some solutions. If you are somebody and you don't want to maybe admit it, that you are one of those mothers, or you did those things, it's not too late to get some help. It's not too late to apologize to your child or take responsibility for the way you was. Maybe something happened to you. This isn't an attack. This is awareness. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. I want to thank everybody that commented and everybody that tuned in. Thank you so much. We have so much more awareness to spread. I see in these future shows, it's going to be some more people calling in, sharing their testimony. And we're going to listen. We're going to listen to them. And we're going to heal. And we're going to do a lot of things in this series, in this show. But this is awareness. If you as a parent, if you need some help, there's nothing wrong with doing some parenting classes, nothing wrong going to some therapy. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I've been through some stuff from when I was younger that I didn't heal from, and I take it out on my children. And please stop sitting up feeling like because they your kids, you don't have to apologize to them. When you wrong, you wrong. You apologize to whoever. You can't, that's abuse too, when you just do things to your children and you feel like, oh, they my kids, I ain't gotta apologize. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I do it all the time. I do it with my boys. If I'm wrong, I tell them I was wrong. I apologize. They deserve respect too. And they deserve to be appreciated. And their voice, it needs to be heard. When they write about something, they write. You're teaching them growth. You're teaching your child how to take responsibility and be accountable when you are accountable with them. And when you apologize, you're teaching them. Oh, look at my mom. My mom was wrong. She apologized to me. My dad was wrong. He apologized to me. My grandma was wrong. They apologized to me. You teach them that's the right thing to do when you wrong. Okay? Yeah, okay, so real talk. Real talk. It's time to spin the table and have a conversation from the other side. I want to see kids healthy, happy, cared for, and loved for. That's what I want to see. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, and I love everybody that called in. And I'll see y'all in 2 Sundays, right back here with part 2. Have a good night.